I just hate everybody. There's no need for me to like everybody. Everything that I have in this world, I put back into number one. I am number one. I don't need to give anything to anybody.
You don't need to give anything.
Hello guys. Today we're going to cover one of the most controversial and extreme musicians who ever decided to step on stage and grab a microphone. His name was GG Allin. But before we start, please like the video guys and subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me and will help the channel out tremendously. Thanks guys. Okay, back to the video. I don't really remember when I first heard of GG Allin, but I think it might be one of those top 10 most controversial musicians who ever lived lists or something like that. And let's just say that his entry on the list was truly something else. I mean, just look at the goddamn photo. This guy looks like a mix between a skinhead and a serial killer or something like that. So of course, me being the fan of everything weird and dark, I immediately started to learn more about this guy. And let's just say that his whole life story is pretty disturbing. So I decided to cover it on this channel. GG Allin was born on August 29, 1956 in Lancaster, New Hampshire, United States of America. His original name was Jesus Christ Allin because his father, Merle Sr. Allin, claimed that Jesus Christ had visited him and told him that his unborn son was destined for great things in this life. This really puts it into perspective, the kind of family that Gigi was brought up in. He spent his childhood living in a small cabin in the woods of New Hampshire, along with his father, his mother Arletta, and his older brother Merle Jr. It was said that the cabin had no electricity and no running water. Truly horrible conditions, if I do say so myself. GG Allin has said that his stage name Gigi came from his older brother, who couldn't pronounce the name Jesus and instead just said Gigi. The name would stuck with him forever. Now, along with horrible living conditions, there were also domestic abuse problems. Allin's father was a violent religious fanatic who made his family live an isolated and truly primitive existence. At one point, he even dug up graves in their basement and said that he would kill his whole family and bury them there. Of course, when God would decide to give him the order. That never happened, cause Arletta decided to take the children and escape from the hands of crazy Merle Sr. It seemed that they could at last live a normal life, but that proved to be wrong. Circumstances that GG Allin grew up in left a profound impact on him that would stay with him his entire life. He was a very rebellious teen who was robbing, breaking into houses, and selling as well as using drugs. Around that time, he also started to get interested in music, early punk rock to be exact, and in 1977, along with his brother Merle, also started his first original band called The Jabbers, where he sang as well as played the drums on almost every track they've ever written. In 1980, they released their only studio album involving Gigi. It was called Always Was, Is, and Always Shall Be. One thing that I found really interesting about the Jabbers was that their sound really reminded me of early pop-punk stuff, which is completely different from his future releases. The band decided to call it quits in 1984 due to Allin becoming very uncontrollable, uncompromising, and vicious, as well as his live performances in the Manchester area of New Hampshire, resulting in him gaining the nickname the Madman of Manchester. But the most crucial part of his live show would come later, in a show in Peoria, Illinois in 1985, where he decided to defecate on stage for the first time, and people started to get absolutely crazy. They had never seen anything like that before. GG Allin liked this response so much that the defecation became a regular practice in his live shows. He also used to rewrite the works of musician Hank Williams, whom he saw as an idol and his kindred spirit, due to both being loners, living a nomadic lifestyle, using drugs, and having almost no materialistic possessions. GG hated regular 9-to-5 jobs and supported himself by selling his own records to fans and to everyone who seemed to be even slightly interested. He also had a particular interest in serial killers, and would even write and even visited the serial killer John Wayne Gacy, one of America's most notorious serial killers, also known as the Killer Clown or Pogo the Clown, when he was in prison. John even painted a portrait of GG, which was used in the biopic called Hated, GG Allin and the Murder Junkies. Fun fact: the biopic was directed by Todd Phillips, better known as the director of the 2019 hit movie The Joker. At this point, GG Allin, along with defecation, would also incorporate extreme violence towards the members of the crowd and self-mutilation to his regular stage act. This resulted in his shows constantly being stopped either by police or by ambulances, cause GG would suffer broken bones, blood poisoning, and other physical trauma. Another thing was that he would make these constant suicide threats. You see, starting in 1989, he would claim that on Halloween he'd kill himself. That never happened, cause at that time he was locked up, so he promised the same thing the following year. Long story short, that never happened, cause on every Halloween from 1989 he would be found behind bars or recovering from his countless injuries in some hospital. He'd gained true notoriety in late 1989 when he was arrested and charged with assault to do great bodily harm to a female fan in Ann Arbor, Michigan. When he was released from prison, he started to do countless big show interviews like Jerry Springer, Donahue, and Jane Whitney, where he would always say the most absurd things in front of millions and millions of people. So with that, we can say that GG Allin became kind of a celebrity. All of that was cut short when on June 28, 1993, he was found dead of a heroin overdose. He was just 35 years old. This was the life and death of GG Allin. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one.